to the closing ceremony. So firstly, I will very briefly summarize the conference. This will be followed by the valedictory address by Professor Vimla Veeraraghavan and the vote of thanks by Professor Kamlesh Singh. Well, as you were informed in the inaugural session itself, NPPA was established in 2013, 10 years back, with the aim of bringing together academics, practitioners, students from all over the country who are keen to take the field forward. And this conference was an attempt on our part to further the cause of positive psychology in India and to help us learn about the kind of work that researchers and practitioners are doing in this field in India currently. Well, the 122 papers that were presented in this two-day virtual conference are testament to the potential of positive psychology in India. Overall, there were 114 oral presentations, 9 poster presentations, and 2 symposiums. These were presented across 21 parallel sessions. And this conference had multiple themes on positive psychology, including well-being and related constructs, positive mental health, positive psychology in the Indian context, positive psychology interventions, character strengths and virtues, positive education, interdisciplinary research in positive psychology, religious, spiritual, positive psychology. We also had themes on positive psychology across the lifespan, positive organizational behavior and scholarship. So these were most of the themes that were covered under all of the different paper presentations. And we are also very happy to announce that there were over 187 registrations in our conference, and attendees included both national and international positive psychology enthusiasts. And during the course of 2 days, we had an inaugural keynote lecture, 6 keynote sessions, and 2 invited practitioner-oriented symposiums. We are extremely privileged to have hosted renowned national and international scholars in the field of positive psychology as our keynote speakers, including Professor Antonella, Professor Bhauk, Professor Oman, Professor Alina. We also had Dr. Kotlin, Dr. Tayab Rashid, Professor Sonia Sachde, Professor Sam Manikam, Professor Amrita Deb, Professor Anindita Ghosh, Professor Manas Mandal, and Dr. Rushi. We were also very fortunate to have received a practitioner-oriented perspective from Project Sangat, Cornerstone Project, Project Dawa and Dua. And well, having provided a very brief overview of these 2 days, I now invite the President of NPPA, Professor Vimla Veeraraghavan, to please deliver the valedictory address. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you, Shilpa. You have really summarized the entire program beautifully. Good evening to all of you, all delegates, chairperson, paper presenters, and those who delivered the keynote address. The main focus in this international conference was on the contemporary development of positive psychology internationally and India. Some of the latest developments in positive psychology techniques used were presented by many researchers, and it was pointed out that the research focus needs to be technology-based human interaction, human-machine learning, and way of balancing life, work, nature, and technology using multidisciplinary approach. I have considered almost all research work of 122 papers that were presented. There is a need to, a few important aspects that I thought I should share with all of you in this valedictory, because at this time we are supposed to see what has happened so far and what we should do now. There is a need to put positive and negative together, which now appears to be used more diligently in the psychobiographical research. It is important to recognize the link between positive and negative emotion. In fact, every positive emotion has negative emotion embedded in it, and so also every negative emotion has positive emotion embedded in it. As pointed out by Professor Antonella, positive psychology does suffer from, despite all this, it does suffer from certain major faults. For one, it has poorly constructed measures of well-being and problematic finding. Number two, it lacks measurement tool. Number three, it suffers from poorly constructed psychometric instrument. Number four, it lacks the important cultural diversity and sample selection. Generally, they take homogeneous group. And five, most importantly, commercialization of positive psychology. Money making is exactly opposite to that. Emphasis on character, strength, and virtue, which we had one whole team in our conference. Financial gain, in fact, raises additional issues of ethical oversight and quality control is what is being sold. Positive psychology is also not addressing as yet many of the contemporary societal problems which may be taken up by the researchers in future. There is still a high level of preoccupation with psychopathology, a weakness and damage instead of nourishing good lives as well as fair and just society. Spirituality is another important area which we heard from Professor Sonia and so many others, and Bhavuk and everyone talked about the spirituality. As mentioned by Professor Sonia, the meaning, practice, and philosophy of yoga, meditation, and the entire positive psychology varies a great deal between the Western concept and the Eastern concept. In recent years, psychological research on spirituality has multiplied. Positive psychology aims to promote self-fulfillment at the level of individual and group in inter-individual and institutional relationships. Positive psychology considers spirituality as a distinct and universal component of human experience, which contributes to the process of individual fulfillment, which I find quite a few researchers have done in our conference. It is in this way that this research topic advocates an integrative perspective. Positive psychology needs to now focus more on topics such as subjective well-being, optimism, self-determination, maturity, health, wisdom, creativity, which we are talking about, and giftedness. We are all aware that bad things happen to many people, and so also good things happen to many people. What is most important for positive psychology is to make sure that it focuses and facilitates in people and the ability to experience and express both realms of emotion for healthy functioning. Another important aspect that came up in our research work that were present in the last 2 days is I find that there are 5 dichotomies that have emerged: optimism versus pessimism, self-esteem versus humility, freedom versus restriction, forgiveness versus anger, and happiness versus sadness. Within each, we find the value of both sides are present. It is for the positive psychology researcher to find out how positive emotions can help undo the negative emotions and how psychological well-being can help prevent relapse of depression and anxiety. In addition, 4 putatively positive processes like forgiveness, optimism, benevolence, and kindness were also done by our researchers. They have been shown in a few studies to be very beneficial. In some, it has also, as we find in the literature, in some it does harm also, depending on the context in which this occurs. The keynote address revealed that positive psychology and brain should be considered by our researchers now, and how the reward circuitry in the brain, consistently given reward, predicts higher eudaimotic well-being as well as better diurnal regulation of cortisol. The science of positive psychology appears to be moving constructively forward. For instance, in the study of emotion, which we found among our researchers, multiple lines of progress are evident. There are studies that build theory and studies that also show benefit. More, I find benefit being shown than building of theory. Studies of positive affectivity has shown correlation with extroversion, happiness, well-being, and lower psychological disorders. Happiness studies, which our Dr. Mandal also talked about today, and many other research have examined ways in which happy and unhappy people respond to social comparison, make decisions, and some studies have also highlighted the strategies to improve happiness and formulation of underlying mechanism. Many in the audience questioned Dr. Mandal on this issue to a great extent. Work on optimism shows that those who expect good things to occur will also have higher well-being, better health, and higher quality social ties, etc. Resilience had not been done much by our in this particular conference. I did not find many, but those who have examined models that eliminated self-regulation skills, community resources, and effective school. To sum up, considerable evidence reveals forward progress of positive psychology on important areas of relevance to people and community. This conference of today has been able to bring together the range and diversity of topics on adaptive human functioning. Many future questions have also emerged as a result of this. Positive psychology needs to broaden and go beyond the individual toward analysis of groups, organizations, and broader systems, and embrace diverse methodologies. We academicians and researchers will need to be alert on certain things. Please keep this in mind when you go back again and do your research. One, avoid exaggerated claims. Two, avoid over-promising that this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And most importantly, avoid commercialization of positive psychology. And also, don't have any inflated expectation. Don't give that to your client, which may all end up in unintentional harm, not only to the beneficiary, but also to the field of positive psychology as a whole. My observations about what positive psychology has accomplished until now have been considerable, but we need to make much more progress, and for this, self-criticism is important. I do hope positive psychology will grow and flourish and move at the same time will recognize its limitations also. Positive psychology claims to have accomplished a great deal, but we need more evidence. Secondly, it takes great credit for impact on positive human functioning. This has been there even earlier in psychology, but such claims require more evidential approach. Commercialization of positive psychology is an issue to be careful about. Those who care about the long-term future of positive psychology will have to grapple with how to prevent the pursuit of profit. Positive psychology has to be scientifically substantiated even for commercial purposes. Please remember this. If it is not properly regulated, business pursuit could become the antithesis of the original promise and purpose of positive psychology to advance optimal human functioning will be a failure. Positive psychology should also focus on and care about the suffering of others more than anything else. As well, they have inspired all positive psychologists to use positive psychology with commitment that encompasses families, schools, workplace, communities, and of course, our planet here as a whole. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, we are extremely grateful to you for your guidance throughout, right from the initiation of NPPA to mentoring us while planning this conference. Thank you so much for all of your support throughout. Well, I now invite Professor Kamlesh Singh, the Secretary and one of the founding members of NPPA, to please deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shilpa. As you have rightly pointed out, Professor Veera Raghavan has been our guiding light, and she has been one of the biggest supporters of NPPA. It really would have been difficult to envision and implement this conference without her guidance. Another individual whom I would really like to thank is my mentor and my guide, Professor S.S. Nathawat. Some of you must be knowing about him. Although he is no more in his physical world, he is with NPPA in Sprint. Basically, he was a clinical psychologist who also promoted positive psychology in India and has left behind a rich legacy. On behalf of NPPA, I would like to acknowledge his support to NPPA. He was in fact one of our advisory committee members, and he is dearly missed. Moving on, I would also like to take the opportunity to thank our scientific committee members. A whole team work with us on different stages. For scientific committee, various professors evaluated abstracts and gave valuable comments, like Professor Sanay Jaiswal, Professor Vaida Khan, Professor Swati Patra, Professor Meenu Khosla, Professor Rajbir Singh, and also Professor Veera Raghavan for going through the abstracts with such patience and giving us their valuable feedback. We are extremely grateful to all our keynote speakers, Professor Antonella, Professor Bhau, Professor Dong Oman, Professor Elena, Dr. Cortland, Dr. Tayyab Rashid, Professor Sonia Sasde, Professor Sam Manikam, Professor Amrita Dev, Professor Anandita Ghosh, Professor Manas Mandal, Dr. Rushi, and from field visits, field studies, Mr. Milish Hamlai from NGO Altruism and Dawa and Dua, and Miss Gracie Andrew from Cornstone Project, and Mr. Deepak and his team from Sangat. Next, I would like to thank all of our chairpersons and moderators for the keynote sessions, parallel sessions, symposiums, and poster presentations. Thank you for giving us your time and for ensuring the smooth conduction of the sessions and ensuring that the conference is a success. Thank you, all of you. Likewise, the organizing team. This conference would not have been possible without your effort and timely support coordination. I am extremely thankful to both of you for your unconditional support and commitment to NPPA and this conference, Dr. Nitika Nagpal and Ujjwal Sinha. I think you have been key persons for this conference. Ujjwal Sinha for technical help and Nitika for arranging all the sessions and connecting with the moderators, with the keynote speakers, with the doing all arrangements yesterday and today. It was really hectic for all of them. I would also like to thank my dear students who were an integral part of the organization committee as well as for NPPA. Dr. Pulkit Khanna, Dr. Shalini Duggal, Dr. Shilpa, sitting in front of you, Dr. Jasleen, Dr. Rajneesh, Dr. Pooja Sahani, and students who are already ongoing PhD thesis jinka hai, like Purnima Singh Pawar, Deepika, Naina, Sargam, Jasil, Sania, Sneh Kirti, and Dr. Garima. Somehow they can't attend the conference, otherwise they work for the conference. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Without your contribution, it was really difficult to do. And I express my gratitude to all of you. Finally, each one of our participants and attendees. It was our absolute pleasure to host you. This conference would not have been possible without your active participation. And even in the future, we hope you will continue supporting us. We look forward to organizing many more conferences, seminars, workshops, and webinars. We welcome you to be a part of NPPA and help the world know about the kind of research and advocacy efforts that are being done in the field of positive psychology in India. I also look forward to your feedback on our first conference. We will eagerly await your feedback and hope to organize the conference at an even more grand scale in the future. Before closing the conference formally, let's clap for the contributors and for the NPPA team, and let's celebrate through this the success of first international conference of the NPPA. I think you can unmute yourself and clap for the team. So,
And ma'am, congratulations to you for heading NPPA and for giving us the opportunity to be a part of the conference. Thank you on behalf of Team NPPA, everybody who was there at the
you
back.
all worked hard day and night. Thank you very much, all of you.
All the best to all of you. Wonderful. And this conference was really a top class conference, almost of the highest standard. Thanks to all of you.
Shilpa, for a photograph or for clicking so
Yes.
if you can,
Those of you who are present here, and because we would really like to capture the moment to remember it. It's not really it's not a physical conference, so we can't really click pictures otherwise. But just the screenshot, and I mean, it would really remain with all of us. So
Sure.
Deepika has also been there throughout. She's the one who's hosting it, in fact. So anyone else who would like to join, we would be really happy to take a picture. Deepika, would you be able to? If not, I will go ahead and take the picture. All right, smile everybody. I'm taking the picture.
Bye.
Yes, it's done. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Okay,
Thank you
all
all
the
of
best.
you.
Congratulations,
Bye-bye.
Team NPPA.
Thanks.